Here at NOLA Motorsports Park today for the Drift Week 2's public event here at NOLA Motorsports Park, held by Lone Star Drift. So I'm gonna stop it right there. When I went out to the Drift Week thing, I wasn't really sure if I was going to do a vlog or a drift video or two separate things. I wasn't really sure what I was going to do, because vlogging at a drift event is good if you're a driver. So like some friends of mine, local friends, Drew and Melanie, they make a vlog, but Melanie's also drifting. Drew's working on the car if it breaks. He's also filming a drift video, our drift video content for other people. So it makes sense to vlog, but when I was there, I was like, there's nothing going on for me except handing out these Ronin Nights DVDs to some of the YouTubers. Anyway, scope out the pits and see if I can find some. So after the day came and went, I realized that I didn't really have a content for a vlog, but I had cool footage for a drift video, which I edited and put out, and you can see the link up here, I think is where the thing goes. But as for a vlog, there wasn't really much. But then I realized something, remembering my interaction with some of these YouTube people. So like, first person I went up to was Fielding Shredder, then it was Hert from Hoonigan, and then I went to AdamLZ, and then later on when I finally ran into Dan Brockett, I gave one to Dan Brockett. I wanted to give one to Aaron Losey, but I never could really find him, and from watching some of the Lone Star videos, he looks like he was doing interviews, putting out fires, not physical fires, but like issues with the track and stuff like that. Like there was actually a thing where him and the drivers got together, and I was recording and Drew was recording, and you totally pointed at both of us. Please not record. Okay, sorry. Hopefully he'll be at EYB this year, and I'll be able to meet him and talk to him. Maybe he'll be more relaxed than Drift Week. Drift Week's so much chaos. But looking back, the thing is, looking back when I interacted with Fielding, Hert, and AdamLZ, I was a nervous Nelly. I was so anxious. You might not be able to tell it watching the video, because first of all, I carried the camera around my neck right here, so you never see me. You can hear my voice, but I don't think you hear the nervousness as well as I remember feeling it. When I first walked the Fielding, he was putting gas in his car.
Right.
Yeah. Hello, sir.
How you doing?
He was in the process of doing something. He wasn't just hanging around. And a lot of these guys, for the most part, weren't just hanging around. They were usually working on something. And if they did have downtime, it was literally just resting. It wasn't really a time to socialize. I'd maybe say a normal drift event. I am the writer director of Ronin Nights.
Sweet. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I mean,
Good to meet you.
You too. I wanted to give you a free DVD. I know you're busy right now, but
Good, man. Thank you.
right off the bat, I was nervous. I noticed I was nervous talking to him. One of the things was, in my mind, when I'm trying to give them, they might not see the importance. It's important to me, and maybe they'll see the importance of. So I always take the thought that I'm bothering someone, and even when I was trying to talk to drifters a year or so ago about what cars they think should be in a initial D film, I would be nervous talking to people because my mindset always is I'm bothering someone. I'm getting in their way of enjoying whatever it is they're trying to do, or getting in the way of them doing whatever it is they're trying to do. So walking to Fielding, I was like, in my mind, I'm bothering him. He's doing something. This might be the only chance I get, so I have to do it anyway. He was very kind. He was very laid back. Very cool dude. He was. So I gave him the. DVD. Well, I didn't give it to him because he was putting gas in the car, and a lot of these guys, they're not trailering, so a lot of times they don't have vehicles. He actually had a truck and trailer there, so I actually just put it in his truck so he could get to it later. I can just give this to you so you can put away.
My truck's right here.
Okay.
I'm just gonna toss it in the other bag.
Okay. Cool.
Appreciate it, man.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great about talking to him was, because I didn't know how much he was following Ronin Nights, he asked questions that was clear that he had been following the Instagram, at least seen the post.
When are you coming out with it? I know you postponed the release.
I'm not going to put it online. This is how I'm going to release it.
Okay.
Like old school drift videos.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give it away for free.
Okay.
My big purpose of giving out DVDs versus putting it online is that my philosophy is that from years of releasing videos on YouTube and asking people, hey, go see my short film on YouTube, people go, oh, there's my friend's YouTube video. I do want to watch their YouTube video. I do want to support them. But then in my back of my mind, like, they don't have time for that, so they push it off. Because I've done this. And you think, oh, I'll watch it eventually. I'll get to it eventually. And sometimes you don't get to it at all. I've come back and I'm like, man, there's all these films I wanted to watch with my friends and never watched them. Never got around to it. But when you make an event, like going to a theater where there's other films, you're like, oh, this might be the only chance I ever get to see it. My friend's work, and I want to support my friend, you'll go to it. Same thing with the DVD, is my mindset. It's like, here is a DVD or physical copy. Oh, if I want to see that film, I got to get that DVD. Now, I'm giving a DVD away for free, mostly because of SAG rules, because I can't make any money off of the product or anything like that, so I have to give it away anyway. Plus, it was kind of always my plan, was to get physical copies, go to drift events, and like, my plan was to hit like NOLA events, like with Drift, and hit Lone Star events, and then maybe Mid-Pond, maybe Clutch Kickers, you know, mostly just the South, and just be like, hey, Ronin Nights, hey, you know, like, put it on social media, I'm going to have 10 copies, give it them out, kind of thing. Of course, coronavirus kind of really upset a lot of that. And
well, I'm glad you made it out. Is this hometown for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the Drift guys, like, way back in the day.
Yeah.
I used to drift to Cressida.
Nice.
So, yeah.
But back to fielding, yeah, really nice guy. I would have loved to like talk to him more, but I just felt like, again, I was in the way, and I was so nervous and anxious. So I just kind of like, oh yeah, I'm just going to give this to you. All right, see you later, kind of thing. Which I don't know how I come off that way. So through all these interactions, you're gonna see I have the camera around my neck on the strap, and it's just sitting here. So it kind of like, because I got a belly, it kind of tilts up a little bit, and I didn't really like want to like vlog them, because just like, I know these people are always vlogging or filming their lives, and when and I know this from doing this with Jeff, when you decide to turn off the camera, you're kind of like, I don't have to be this perfect representation of myself. Not saying they're faking it, but you're always like kind of on this teetered edge. In an interview with AdamLZ kind of mentions the same thing. He feels he's an introvert. He feels exhausted when he's at events where he has to talk to people because of that. And that's not like he doesn't want to talk to people. That's his nature. He's more introverted. But on the videos, he seems extroverted because he's kind of talking to an audience of one with the camera. He doesn't feel like he's trying to like stand on a stage and talk to people, which is a very exhausting thing for an introvert. So again, when these people aren't filming, I kind of feel like I don't want to bother them too much because they're not filming, so they're on their downtime. At least since I don't know them. So you'll see a lot of times with this, I had the camera kind of low, didn't really point it at them, so it's going to be really shaky. The point of this mostly is to listen to the conversation, I guess.
Hello, Hert. My name is Carl Johnson.
How you doing?
I'm the writer-director of Ronin Nights.
So when I went to go see Hert, he was like working on a car, changing a tire or adjusting suspension. So he was, again, like fielding, he was busy, he was doing something. And I, again, didn't know him well enough from his YouTube videos to know what his mentality was with people just randomly walking up to him or anything. So again, I just was like, hey, Hert. He was like, hey. He's like, you know, turn like, hey. And I was like, I'm writer-director Carl Johnson. It's a weird thing to come out to somebody. Hello, I'm writer-director Carl Johnson, like I'm some big shot. But I was like, yeah, like I just wanted to give this DVD. It's you know, explaining to him what it was.
I'm the writer-director of Ronin Nights. It's like an initial D live-action type pilot.
Okay.
I just want to give you a copy for free.
All right.
Do with what you please.
Cool, man.
Yeah. So,
what?
it was like the pilot episode I did for film school.
Nice.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, I'll definitely give it a watch, man.
Yeah, obviously not on Drift Week. Too much going on.
Yeah, it's a busy time right
Yeah.
now. But thank you.
Yeah. Cool, man.
Again, I was so nervous. Like I would love to like really talk to him about it, like, you know, and you know, really got him into it. But he was working on a car, and I was so nervous. I was just like, I should stop bothering him. Like, you know, I felt like such a peon in comparison to these people. So it was like my mind was like, oh, thank you for talking to me, sir. I'm admitting me now. I'm getting out of your way. Like that's kind of like the mentality I had. And it's weird because these guys aren't celebrities in the traditional sense. They're not super important political people. You know, they're just average, everyday people. But when you watch these people online and you see their personalities, they creates a bigger image in you know your psyche of who they are. Like Fielding, I got first introduced through Hyperdrive. I didn't really see any of his stuff before him. I didn't go into events a long time to like go to like see him at Lone Star or EYB type events. So I didn't know him other than Hyperdrive, and then I started watching some of his YouTube content. But he was still this kind of larger than life figure. Hert even more so with Hoonigan because all the Hoonigan stuff, and the Hoonigan stuff is more professionally done than Fielding or AdamLZ stuff. And this isn't knocking AdamLZ or Fielding stuff, just Hoonigan has like a production team. So Hert seems more polished in his behavior and his mannerisms and things like that. So he seems more larger than life. Yeah, he was real nice and kind for someone just walking up to him randomly. Because any of these people, like with all the stress of drift week, could have been dicks, and they weren't. They were really nice people, and that's really awesome. It's funny because I say could have been dicks. Aaron Losey on camera comes off like a dick, and in person when I watch him, it's like he is who he is on camera. Like he doesn't hide who he is. He probably would get like way more views if he from the very beginning was more polite or kind on camera, but I love the fact that Aaron Losey is who he is. And he's not like being a dick to be a dick. He's just more matter of fact, straightforward, to the point kind of person, which I madly respect. I try to do that mostly in my life. Sometimes I achieve it, sometimes I don't. But anyway, after Hert,
let's go see if Adam and Colette have time.
AdamLZ, Colette, Mike, which is the guy who's been filming his stuff. It's funny because like I started working with Jeff doing that sort of thing, being the guy who filmed the guy in the videos, and then Mike, I saw Mike and LZ like merge, and I was like So and there was also this other guy, I forgot the guy's name. I saw it in the video. This large kind of muscle bound guy.
What's up?
How's it going, man?
Carl.
Mike.
But so I started talking up to Mike because I felt so comfortable talking to Mike because Mike's the guy behind the camera. He's like me. He's a film guy. He's a video guy. He's an editor. He had a camera. And I was curious what he'd been shooting on. And he had that's when I finally had the red Komodo. And so we and him just started talking about that, and I felt my anxiety go down because I was just shooting the shit about camera specs and lenses and tech, and I felt like me and him were like equals because of that, because we both knew that shit. We were talking about like editing programs, how he edits on Final Cut Pro X because it's very similar to the program he used to use before, which was, hold up, Sony Vegas Pro. What? Yep. He used to edit on Sony Vegas Pro before Final Cut Pro. Dude, I was like, be still my heart there. It's like, all right, another Vegas Pro guy. Yeah, that felt really good. And it helped ease kind of tension down. And then because of that, talking to him, AdamLZ was now done. He was just relaxed and sitting down. I was like,
would you mind introducing me to Adam?
Yeah, for sure.
and that's what Mike did. He's like, hey, this is Carl.
Oh, what's up, bro?
Which gave me a way in because when I walked Fielding was busy doing something. Hert was busy doing something. So it was always weird just to walk up to them. Hello, I'm blah, 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 blah. Writer-director Carl Johnson of Ronin Nights, But walking up to them and having introduced by Mike, because I kind of created rapport with Mike. But then as soon as I started talking to LZ, the anxiety went skyrocketing back up. So nervous. I was just like, hi, I'm Carl Johnson. I just wanted to get like...
Writer-director of Ronin Nights.
Sick.
This is the DVD of the first episode we filmed last year.
Awesome.
Give it to you for free.
It's like I'm just Gary going, hi, I just want you to have this. Alright, bye. Don't worry, it's not going to explode in your face or something. I gave one to Adam, and I was going to give one to Colette, but I was like, well, they're going out, so if he watches it, she'll probably end up watching it. And if he watches it alone, and he thinks something of it, he'll want her to see it too. So I didn't want to like here's your Adam, and here's yours, Colette. that's just, you know, they feel like, I give both, you know, I don't know. But when I gave him one, again, I was nervous. I was like, hey, and he was sitting down, which is such an interesting thing that both Hert and him were sitting down, which should give me more comfortability because I'm in a position of power. And I mean that like this whole psychological dynamic of a relationship between someone sitting down versus someone standing up. But at the same time, he's sitting down relaxed, like the Don, you know, at like the restaurant you see in like an Italian film, like, you come to me, you know, for this favor you ask. So, but anyway, I gave him the DVD. Was super nervous.
I actually tried contacting you to be in that film.
Yeah, that would have been tight.
I was trying to get you as one of the legendary lakefront Emerald Eye drivers. It's very initial D vibe, but like with a New Orleans kind of take to it.
That's cool. It's all filmed here?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah. That was a complete SAG film with like a proper SAG stunt coordinator and everything.
No way. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, obviously, too busy to watch it, but whenever you guys get time in Florida, you know.
That's it, man. Thank you. That's
really cool. No problem. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Have fun with the rest of the week and stuff too.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
Nice talking with you.
You too.
I was so nervous and I felt like I was bothering them and like that I should just get out of there. They don't care about this film. Hopefully they'll watch it though, and then they'll be, you know, then they'll care about it. But yeah, like I said, you can't really tell probably by listening to me, but I'm very short and quick. When I'm nervous, I talk very fast. Like very fast. Like, hey, have you seen this new alternator right here? This is a pretty cool alternator. It's this Ultra Import from O'Reilly's. That's how like I talk when I'm nervous. Where when I'm excited about something, I kind of talk fast, sort of like I am now, but not jittery fast. Like I'm like, yeah, here's this DVD, Ronin Nights, I'm writer director. You know, I thought you'd be cool. It's for free. You know, it doesn't cost anything. It's like I mean, anybody. He might not notice it in the action, but like, so yeah, it was interesting. But the weird thing was like, it kind of like ripped the Band-Aid off in a lot of ways, because like later on, they were fixing a car on the track, and he was just sitting in grid, and I thought the footage I showed you guys, I didn't have it. I thought my camera was acting up, and I couldn't play back that air. I couldn't play back the interaction with Hert. I could play back Phil did, but I couldn't play back Hert or AdamLZ, and I was like, oh no. That's another reason why I stopped vlogging for a while. And that day, because I thought, well, there goes all of my material, and you know, and I was like, well, I'll just focus on making a kick-ass drift video. So anyway, so when I was sitting there, and I was like, man, I don't have anything, nothing for Ronin Nights, it's nothing to put on the gram. So I walked up to him with my cell phone, and I was like, hey, I had some camera problems. Because he was just sitting there in his car with a couple passengers, just waiting for him to clear up the track, doing nothing. He was, in a sense, that was the best time to talk to him. Right now, it's the best time to give him a DVD because he's in his car. What's he gonna do with it, right? But yeah, I walked up to him myself and I was like, "Hey, do you mind like giving like a plug for Ronin Nights, where you just point at the camera and say Ronin Nights?" And I tried to get him a little bit coaching to say it like Jeff Perkins, because no one can say it like Jeff Perkins.
Ronin Nights.
But it would have been too difficult to like pull that up or like coach him through it. And he's already doing me a favor by saying it, so I just had him like, you know,
Ronin Nights. Cool.
And it's so cool, you know, just to do that. If you look in the background of the video, the back passenger is making like this weird face or something. Anyway, it's hilarious. Later on, there was another thing where Aaron was trying to bring all the drivers together to talk to him, and I happened to be at the exit. He was, AdamLZ was going through, and he may have asked me just because I was a random person that might know, but it was kind of cool. He came off, he was like, hey.
I think they're having a meeting down there.
I was like, nah, they're just having a meeting or something. You know, but he felt like when he came off that, like, hey, I talked to this guy, he might know what's going on. He's a local, you know, because that was also a thing, you know. He was asked about Ronin Nights, so like, oh yeah, there's a shot here, it's a local, okay. I'm very nervous, you know, but once I got that initial interaction and I walked up to him, and when he talked to me later, I was like so relaxed about it. And then later I was talking to Mike, not recording, of course, about stuff like, oh yeah, we're going to shoot this thing. So yeah, this is the lens I was talking about. In the evening, I finally ran into Dan Brockett.
How are you?
Probably better than you.
God damn it.
I seen him on the track, and I finally got seen him. I was walking, because it was the end of the night, and I had to bring back my, I was borrowing my aunt's car. He was walking towards me, because he was walking not towards me, but he was walking towards the track because he needed a lift. So I saw him, and I was very easy. Like, hey, dude, I've been trying to give this to you.
Anyway, I've been trying to find you to give you this. It's Ronin Nights.
What does it even mean?
It's a DVD of the film I made, the pilot. The pilot.
Right on.
I spoke to you about when we were coming through. Yeah.
Sick, man. Thanks.
Yeah. Obviously, no time to watch it now, but when you get back to, you know, home.
And the reason I was comfortable with him is because the first time I discovered him was through Jeff, so to speak. Like, Jeff had mentioned, like, hey, we're going to stay at this guy Dan Brockett's house. He used to be a Formula D Pro driver, or is a Formula D Pro driver. I'm not sure if Dan's competing that much or not. Anyway, and he showed, you know, looked at his YouTube channel, saw his interview with Lone Star a couple earlier in the year, or for the first drift week. Saw some of the Whiskey Garage, but because Dan's approach to filming was so smaller, and I didn't watch as much. Like, I watched a lot of fielding with Hyperdrive and fielding, so I built up this image. Watched a lot of Hert, a lot of AdamLZ, a lot of AdamLZ. I've seen AdamLZ a ton on camera through Lone Star and the Japan trips, but I hadn't seen a lot of Dan Brockett. So even though the little bit I saw wasn't built up this huge image in my head, like a big figure. And then I met him on the road trip with Jeff when we went to California, because we stopped and we stayed at Dan Brockett's house. Officially.
Nice place.
Carl.
Andy, nice to meet you guys.
Dude. Sorry to like bum rush you with like the video.
No, it's all good. I'm used to it.
I figured, but
so when I first met him, I didn't know the proper way to introduce myself and go about that. But we stayed at his house. He was a really cool dude. He even served me whiskey at his house, because like he was like, someone gave him a bunch of beer. He's like, hey, you want a beer? I was like, I'm not really a beer drinker. I'm actually a whiskey drinker. And when I said that, this is how like I know some people who really like watch Dan Brockett stuff. I didn't even know nothing about Whiskey Garage, because I am just for whiskey. And it was just like at that moment he was like, oh really? Well, and I happened to notice the huge thing of whiskey he had. So he's like, here, try this. This is Scotch. Try this. And he was like serving me different ones. And like, you smell this, you smell that. And he was basically teaching me like Scotch / whiskey 101. It was pretty cool. So I got to know him in a little bit of a way with that. So seeing him on Drift Week, it was just like seeing anybody else that I knew. Like if I ran into like Kim Tronan or Debo or Dominic or Drew, it's just like, that's another person I know. No big deal. So I went up to him and was like, hey, I was giving this to you.
Yeah.
You know, home.
Speaking of that, you're from here, yeah?
Yeah.
Know anybody with a lift?
He, like I said, he needed a lift. His transmission was going out and he needed to swap it out, and because of the way the IS300 fits that engine and transmission, it's really hard to do it on the ground, like in a parking lot, like we do with Jeff's on one of the drift events. Yeah, so I was able to like find Dom. But Dom, who works at the track, I knew there was garages and I knew there would be one with a lift. Maybe he might be able to contact a customer, which he was.
Tenfold, for sure, man. I appreciate it.
So yeah, just wanted to give my experience on meeting these guys, these YouTube stars, and how I was just super nervous and anxious, and you know, they're like, oh my god, it's AdamLZ, you know. But yeah, I just wanted to like, you know, talk about that. Anyway, there's the bell.